Hey y'all. Hey y'all. This is Cardinal Lawn Life. This is your boy. Welcome to Lawn Monsters. Okay. And I'm, of course, eating 3 corn dogs as of right now for lunch. Okay. Because it is lunchtime. And then this is one of the very first. Okay. Hello, Rolel. Good morning. This is one of the very first YouTube fan or food banks that I'm going to do for this lawn channel. Okay, for Cardinal Lawn Life. This is one of the very first food banks that I'm going to actually do for this channel. Now, with that all being said, I'm actually working as of right now, which is right here. Okay. Then, sooner than later, I'm going to put my shoes on and we're going to go and look at all the equipment that I run. Okay. Which only 2 of the equipment you're going to get to see today. Okay. And then maybe this weekend I can show you all of it. Okay. Like the weed eater, the edger, the blower, the mower, all that stuff. Okay. But today you're actually going to get to see only 2. Okay. And maybe you're going to get to see how they all run within the lawn care business. Like I'll start them up and rev them up and stuff like that. That'll all happen today. But as of right now, we're going to get into the food bank, which is going to be right here and right now. Okay. Within this food bank, we're going to see how everybody's doing and stuff like that. Okay. Notice I have my business hat on, but I don't have a business shirt. It's not all the time that I can wear a business shirt. With being in the business, I can wear any type of shirt that I want. That's with any of my employees. They can wear whatever shirt they want to wear. They don't all the time have to wear a business shirt. But if they're not going to wear a business shirt, they can wear a business hat because the phone number and stuff is still on the hat. Okay. But they have to respect a boss. They have to respect the people that we're working for. Okay. There's a certain somebody that happened last night that was starting a fight on this YouTube channel. So I couldn't, cope, but I couldn't help my strategies. Okay. I had to stop the YouTube channel to go to do what I had to do. Okay. So not only did I have to remove him, but he kept wanting to fight with me. Okay. That actually happened last night. And I got really irritated and frustrated. That's what that all was all about. See, that's the one thing. If somebody's going to come on here, irritate me, show me how things are going to get done, how they're going to get done, and tell nothing but the truth whenever I'm trying to do that, it's not going to end well. I'll put you on remove because I can't block on YouTube. I can only remove you to where you're not going to be able to watch the channel no more. So not only was it one person, I removed 2 people. Okay. So to avoid that from happening, you can't, do what you got to do. Now, to size everything, you got to do it again. Okay. So not only did I remove the one person, I removed the second person. Okay. And the second person was the person's wife. That's who it was. but he's still here. But I'm going to give him another chance to, to do what you got to do. Okay. Because I got to pick and choose my battles. So whether or not he starts a fight again with this YouTube channel, this will probably be the last YouTube channel that I make. This will probably be the last video I make. And then I will go back to YouTube Shorts, even though I can do the live. Okay. So it's like you got to do what you got to do. Okay. With the lawn care business and stuff like that. Now, right now, I have a business, but nothing is working. Okay. So nothing's growing. So right now, I'm at this point of time to where I'm not in business. But I am a boss. I do what I do. I get in I get on my bike and I go and try to find jobs so that when stuff does start growing, people can give me a call. Which today I was actually in my backyard and somebody called me. Okay. They very so happen to be right down the road from one of my other clients that I work for. Okay. And I try to cope and do what I got to do. Okay. So you got to do what you got to do when it comes into the landscaping business. I do have a protein bar as well, which is right here in my office. I'm going to be eating that today too on this food bank of this YouTube Live. The stuff that I try to go out and do is weed eating, edging and blowing, and all that other stuff. I have all these other accounts right here on a piece of paper that I do, dentists, all of them. But I do them on a certain day. Okay. So it's a certain amount of time. So what I mean by that, the clients that I have, I do on a certain day. Like some days I'll do 2 or 3 yards on Monday, 5 or 6 yards on Tuesday. Okay. I'm just using this for an example. Okay. I'm not saying that I have all these accounts as of right now, but I'm saying for an example, if I do 5 or 6 on Monday, I'm going to do 5 or 6 on Tuesday. I'm going to do probably 7 on Wednesday. But as of right now, I only have 1 on Wednesday, which is my sibling. Okay. Then I'm probably going to do commercial, which is going to be the church. I do it for the Lord. Don't get paid for nothing. That's perfectly fine. So that'll be Thursday. Friday, we may not have anything. We probably don't have no yards, which as of right now, I don't have any yards for Friday, but I'm looking. Okay. Because I really don't want to be taking Fridays off. I'd much rather be working. Saturday and Sunday, we're off. We don't work on weekends. Coming into the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I want to be out working. Saturday, Sunday, take those days off. Okay? So, I'm going to be doing what I got to do to get these business in line. Okay? I got to do what I got to do to keep my employees in line and out of trouble. So, that's where I'm at right now. So, here after I'm done eating on the fan mill, we're going to go out back and I'm going to grab out my weed eater and blower, possibly my edger, because my one piece is back here in the corner of the office. And I'll just detach it and show you all. I might even just show you all the equipment that I run. Okay? I might even show you the trailer. I might even show you the bike that I use. I might even show you the traffic cone that I use. So, there you have it. There's everything that you got to do. Okay? Traffic cones. If you're parked on the roadside, okay? You want to put a cone out. That's so your stuff don't get hit. Okay? Your trailer, your whatever. Same if you got a truck and a trailer. Put a cone out. Make sure no one's going to hit it. Now, as my uncle would say, which he said on the phone yesterday, oh, if I see one of your traffic cones out yesterday or whatever, I'll just plow through it. Well, you do it, I'll report you. Traffic cone police. Which there's no such thing as a traffic cone police, but if there was, they would be getting contacted. Started choking on a sausage dog here, but I am good. I'm about to get something to drink because I don't have one here on the desk. But with this all being said today, hopefully everybody can watch and learn. Now, when I go and start the stuff that needs to be ran because it's been so cold today, I only ran one of them yesterday, so it don't need to be ran. But the blower, I'm going to start it up today for y'all. It's commercial graded. Apparently, I can't eat right today. Oh, not trying to die here on the channel. I'm just choking to death. These are good protein bars. And if you want a protein bar, they're at Aldi's. But the kind that I like is right here. They're good. If y'all want a protein bar, they're at Aldi's. And these are the kind that I like. They're the best kind ever. I don't get enough protein, so that's why I eat protein bars. This vest is meant for commercial properties. I wear it sometimes, not a whole lot. If you're wondering why I keep opening my office door back and forth, trash cans outside. So that's where I'm putting all these little sticks. Is in that little trash can right there. I got one left. I'm trying to finish this one, and then I'm gonna finish that one, and then we're gonna go out and check some equipment. It's a good day here in the office. It's a good day every day, to be honest. And I don't get enough protein He'll just be sitting around doing absolutely nothing. And again, if you guys are interested and you want protein bars, they're at Aldi's. And these are the kind of proteins I got. These are the kind that I like and I enjoy eating. I take them sometimes on jobs and eat them. I take 2 each time. And these are good protein bars. I just ate one, so I can't eat another one. But the calories are 140. And I don't get enough protein, so that's why I eat these protein bars. And that's why they're so good. And protein's good for you, so you gotta make sure you have some protein. And I don't get, like I said, I ain't got enough protein in me, and I don't get enough every day. So, and if you want to sit there and say, "Oh, coffee's protein," really, it ain't no protein. Actually, I think it is protein because it actually wakes you up a little bit. Been there, done that. I prayed for my uncle today because he has to go in at 3:30 to work. The time that I get off at is 3:30. Until I start doing lawn care, then I will be off. I'll be actually working overtime. So I won't be saying I'll get off at 3:30 because I'll be working overtime. Which I'm gonna be honest with y'all that are watching. I've been butthurt because there ain't nothing growing. I'm pretty sure every lawn care is being butthurt because there ain't nothing growing. But you gotta do what you gotta do to make a living. And I do that every day. Be right back. I'm putting on my work boots. And we're gonna go out to the actual shop where I keep all the equipment. And I'll show you every tool I got. Now, some landscapers will run steel weed eaters and steel blowers. And I do know that steel is making a zero turn. That's my dream mower right now, to be honest. But I really don't want a steel zero turn. I want a Toro time cutter. And I'm going to show you all the equipment that I run. And I'm actually going to rub up the weed eater. I'm going to rub the equipment up for y'all. Just so that way you guys got an idea on what I got for y'all. I'm going to reach in this back corner here and get my edger attachment, so that way I can just show you everything that's all hooked up. The battery for it is on the charger over here on the floor, so I'm not gonna rev that up because it's only battery operated. But the gas operated stuff I'm gonna rev up for you. So, and then I just gotta slide my office chair, find the attachment. Here we go. It's back here in the back corner. So, as you guys can see, Ego is what I run. Okay. I'm actually gonna not take that out there, but you know that that's here. So I'm gonna stick it back out, back in the corner of the office. I'm not gonna take that out there for y'all. But the attachment's out in the shop. And this right here is my shop. This is where I sit and do my paperwork every day. Okay. So that's back there. I'll grab my phone, just in case I get a phone call or whatever while I'm out there. All right, I can stay on for right now. We'll just be right back in here. We're going out to the shop. Okay, so my bike that I always use for the fitness career, which is going to be right here. This is where my bike and trailer setup is. Okay, that's there. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's right there. Okay, and then the trailer is over here with the cone. I could show you it. All right, there's the trailer with the cone on it. You use that every basis of a job site. I'm gonna go in the shop here. So mainly in this shop here, I have my weed eater, blower, lawnmower, and hedge trimmers and all that. So it's a mess as of right now. And some of the stuff I don't own. It's partially my Uncle Jim's. Shout out goes to him. And then I got my 2-cycle engine oil mixed in a can. And then I got my big can, which is regular gas, which is empty right now. I got the weed eater, I got the blower, hedge trimmers, loppers, all that other main stuff, okay? That you're going to need in a regular basis of a lawn life or whatever you're doing within the lawn care business, okay? So I'm going to set you all down. I'm not starting any of it. I just changed my mind. I'm not starting any of it, okay? So mainly of this shop right here, I have the weed eater. It's a speed feed head, okay? I ran it today. I did only 1 yard. So this is a primer ball air filter, and it's Echo. It's a 125. It's been a good weed eater for the lawn care business. So if you guys want a weed eater, a very good high quality weed eater, 125. It's the best high quality weed eater there is. I love it. Lightweight. It's not very heavy. Now I'm gonna put this out here to the side. The next piece of the equipment that we have for this lawn life the ego attachment. Okay, this is the edger that goes to the piece that's inside in my office. So then the blade's right here. You got your wheel adjustment. The next piece of equipment that we got is the home light electric hedge trimmer. Okay. Very good, high quality, maybe, I would say. The blade up here is a little dull, but it's been a very good trimmer. It's a 17-inch blade. Very good. Of course, if you got a kid around, it's got a safety feature, which is right here. You just push that in with your thumb and then push that in. So it's a safety. It's always off. See, so the only way you can get the blade to go is if you push this in like that and then push, and then but it's always locked. So the next piece of equipment is the blower. It's commercial graded, as you can tell. There's the X. Then your spark plug is up on the top. It's a little heavy. You got your gas, you got everything on here, just like the weed eater. It's very high quality. It's a PB770T. It's a very good high quality blower. It's got enough power on it to blow you away, pretty much. Your chokes here, your nipples here, everything's there. Air filter, everything. So you're pretty much good on thing. Your tubes here, it's a very long tube. So it's a very high quality blower. And then the lawnmower that I use is a home light, a Cobalt, and it's right here. It's electric as well, as you can tell. It's right there. So everything that you see on this YouTube video is everything that I use. Gas can right here. This one's full. It's got my 2-cycle engine. And then regular gas can for when I get a lawnmower. As of right now, it's empty. Nothing in it. And the lawnmower in itself does have a bagger for when you're bagging up leaves, all that other high quality stuff. There ain't a whole lot, nothing else to show you besides the my back is hurting now that I just been over a bunch of times. But there's a lot going on when you're in the landscaping or the lawn care business. Companies like us within the business like me, we're not trying to sponsor anybody that has Echo equipment or Steel, okay? But I'm going to tell you, the Echo 225 weed eater, excellent. It's been good. Blower, the PB 770T has been a good blower. Never had any problems with it. Still fairly new. The weed eater still fairly new, and that Ego Edger's pretty much fairly new too. Hardly ever been used, and that's why I'm going back into lawn care so I can actually, get some use out of it. You seen the trailer, you seen the bike. This is how I'm getting around doing yards. So if there's anybody out there that's wanting a yard done, please give me a call. I could actually help you out. Except for this lawnmower, I don't hardly use it because it's electric and not a whole lot of people have outlets and stuff for me to put my extension cord and start mowing. So, but it's been a good year. It's been nothing but cold, but it's been pretty much of a good year. I can't say it's been a good year of mowing yet because we ain't in that mowing season yet. But this is everything that I got, the Echo 225 and everything. Each year that it's cold and that there's not, when we get back into this type of year to where I can show you more equipment and upgrades, I can do that for you. You just got to ask me down in the comments for it and stuff like that. But coming in the long run of the landscaping business, you're going to have this, okay? You're going to have a slow year. You're going to have a fast year. You're going to have to be out there knocking on doors, okay? But I'm going to start loading stuff back in here, and then we're going to go back into my office, and we're going to start talking some more. But this is everything that I run. That lawnmower does have a bagger. It's over here buried as of right now. The loppers are over here buried. But, and I started out slow. I'm going to tell you, way before I had a blower, I was, using a broom, a broomstick broom, and just sweeping all the grass and stuff off of driveways and stuff like that. Now that I have a blower, I get done a lot faster. So it's when you're in the lawn care business in the long run, it's always going to be perfect for you, no matter whether or not you're going live or whatever. You're doing what you got to do, and doing what you got to do here is always going to be the best bet for you. Okay, you're not always going to be out making money, but you're and once a year, I'm going to tell you, once a year, way back when, you're going to be slow. You're not going to have a whole lot. Now, here's the main thing. You're going to have do-rags. You're going to have phones. You're going to have whatever you need in the lawn care business. Okay? It's coming on 12/27, fixing to be 12/30. So I'm gonna try to do longer videos, especially during the day when we're out here doing stuff. But I'm gonna have to start saving up for a GoPro so I can attach it to me, and I can show you how to do yards and how to clean stuff like that. But I got to talk to customers about that first before I can bring any camera or something on their property and start recording. So whenever I get that type of money, then that's when it's going to take place. And then I'm going to have to upload them on my computer and stuff like that, and which I won't have a problem doing once I figure out how to do it. Okay. So within the long run, I'm going to start putting all this stuff back. And the kind of boots that I would recommend you wearing is not steel-toed. Okay? Get rid of the steel-toed and get redheads. I got a pair of redheads right here. Okay? They're a good boot. Always will be. And that's everything that's reliable for lawn care. Steel-toed, I would save them unless you got something real heavy, like if you're helping somebody move or whatever. But redheads are good for lawn care and stuff like that. Easy to walk in, easy going. All right, grab you all. We're going to go back into my office and we're going to talk more about this. If you guys have any type of questions, like I mean any, you can I can recommend you to me. You can give me a call at this number, okay? Cardinal on Life 813-497-3970. I'm always available. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm not available. If you guys got any questions on how to quote properties or anything, beyond call me, okay? I talked to a customer earlier today and they're pretty much interested in me doing their yard, but I'm getting a call back in between 5:30 and 6:30. So hopefully I can land a job today. And everything and quote them and do what I got to do. But there's going to come a time to where you're not going to have enough people to do to help do their lawns or whatever. All right, we're going to get out of this hot shed and go back into the office, into the AC. Now, I'm going to tell you from the start and from the get-go, it's going to be hard work, okay? There's going to be a time where there ain't going to be nobody that's going to want their yard done because they do it themselves, okay? I get that all the time when I go knocking on doors or asking them, okay? So whether or not you're trying to get a job or do jobs, whatever, this is what you're going to be coming to be, okay? Now, there's going to be a time where I'm not going to be on here like often than I am right now because coming lawn business and everything starts growing, I'm going to be out there staying busy, doing yards, doing everything, especially when it comes to doing stuff with employees and making sure that they're getting the job done the way the customer wants it done. Because whether or not you come to a time that somebody doesn't want their yard done, you're going to be doing it to where it's going to come to where it's overtime and ain't nothing going to be done. Okay. So that's a time that you got to figure out what you're charging, where you're going to be, and everything like that. So, you got to do what you got to do when it comes to, staying maintained to what you're doing with lawn life, doing what you're doing with lawn care, doing what you got to do, and stuff like that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm going to come back on here tonight because I'm not, because I'm tired. But after today, there could be a time tomorrow where I'm back on here. So you guys got to keep an eye out. And if there's a time that I'm back on here and stuff like that, you can ask me questions anytime I'm on here, whether or not what to charge, what you do. But you definitely don't want to ask somebody what their retirement is. Okay. I go over that so many times and it's just not, it's not funny anymore because you might get the wrong person and they're going to be like, oh, you asked us what the retirement was. Now we don't want you. You can go find somebody else to do a job, this, that, and the other. So you just want to make sure that, you're not asking somebody what their interview, what their retirement might be, because from now to November or whatever, they're not going to have a retirement. I can already tell you, I don't have a retirement because I'm my boss. And bosses don't have retirements until I don't know when. Now there might be a time that I might go out of business, but do I know when I might go out of business? Probably when I'm in my 90s, 97, 98, something like that. Then I might go out of business. But as of right now, I'm not going out of business because I'm going to try to stay in business no matter how long I stay alive for. Okay? Now, staying in business is something that you want to be in. You want to make sure that you're doing this for a long time term. You want to make sure that you're doing it for nice people, not just, doing it to where you're showing off how you can work. You don't want to be that person where you're just showing off how to do work. You want to make sure that you're working the way you want to work. There's a time, there's a time there's a time and a place to work and fight. No, I'm just kidding. Because you don't always want to pick a fight and do this and that and the other. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing and not the wrong thing. I go over this numerous times with people that watch. Now, if you're new to the channel, you could like and subscribe, share to family, friends, whatever, and they can watch and see how I do this and how I work with business and how I do my coping strategies and stuff. Now, watching the business grow and all that stuff, that might come to a term, and turning stuff around and doing what you got to do when it comes into a term. Now you might say, "Hey, boss man, what's that term like?" Well, it's making sure you're pricing the right way and not pricing too high and making sure your prices are fair. There's that type of term. That term is going to get you to where you need to be, not where you want to be. So there's a time and a place for different things. That's kind of like what my friend Nancy, that watches my YouTube live, customer, whatever, says here. Okay. She kind of says, oh, wants and needs are two different things. And she ain't wrong about that. There's always times and needs. And wants and needs are two different things. And that's one thing that you want to make sure you got. Another thing that you want to make sure you got is water. Not sodas, water. And you also want to make sure when you have employees that you're making enough to feed them lunch. Okay? I try to go over that as much as I can. I don't go over it every week, but I do it as much as I can when I'm on here. Now, I don't know when the next time it'll be that I'm on here because I'm going to try to make it to where I come on here every once in a while. Like if I go live Monday, I'm going to try to go again Sunday or Saturday. So if I go live Saturday, I might go live Monday or Tuesday. There's a time and like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that everybody can go and enjoy the rest of their day. And I probably will be back on here because I went to live. That's today, Tuesday. So, which means I'll probably be going live Sunday. Okay. If not Sunday, then Monday. Okay. Because I went live today. So like I said, there's a time and a place for everything. So, and you might say, boss man, what's 2 minus 3? 2 minus 3. Well, there's a time and a place for everything. And when you price things and quote things, that's another thing. You want to make sure that you're doing it the right way and not the wrong way. Okay. So one thing after another thing, if you try doing what you got to do when it comes to that, you got to do what you got to do when it comes to this. And whether or not you're doing what you got to do for a business or a long-term business is the best way to do things. So you might say, so What you got to do, what you got to do. You ain't gonna be doing what you got to do, and stuff like that. Now, work is work. Food is food. You see what I'm saying? So you might say, how do you know all these things? How do you? What do you do? Well, I can't. I can't explain it. I don't know how to explain it. So if you knock on a door, you don't want to just sit there and stare. I told you. I go over this too. So when you knock on a door, you don't want to just sit there and stare at the person. You want to say, "Hey, this is what I do. I'm with Cardinal Lawn Life, so and so. This is what I do for a living." You want solar panels. You don't want to do that, but you want to, make sure that it's with your lawn care business. Okay, long terms. But again, there's a time and a place for every little step that you make, whether it's lawn care, landscaping, roofing, pressure washing, cleaning driveways, washing cars, working at a car wash. Just there's different little things there. So you got to do what you got to do. You might say, I don't know how to wash a car. Well, that's why they train people. Oh, I don't know how to run a weed eater. Well, that's why we or other landscapers might train you up on how to use equipment. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you, you're not born and raised to know how to landscape and clean a yard. There's training purposes. So, all right. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. It's about 1 o'clock, and I just hope that everybody that watched this, or that anybody else around the world watches this, because you guys can give out and share and stuff like that, and text people, and, hey, this is what I do, this and that, and yada yada yada, and they can come on here and see what I do and watch and talk about and stuff like that. So friends and family is what we're all about here, okay? I'm all about friends and family watching a YouTube live or watching a YouTube channel, all things like that. So, you might think that, I come on here and talk for no reason, but I do talk for reasons, and there's reasons behind the scenes here why I talk, about the landscaping company, this and that, and yada, yada, yadas. So, and I just want to just make it clear that I'm not a fake person. I'm not a fake company. Okay. I'm around to help whoever's wanting landscaping done. Okay. I'm not, I'm not here to say that I'm fake. I'm not here to say that I'm just, here. But landscaping and companies here, we always want to clean somebody's yard, no matter what it is. Okay, there might be a hurricane or something and a tree get knocked down. We're here to clean them. We're here. We're not just going to say that we're fake companies. We're not going to sit here and say that we're not a real company. Okay, so that you got to just realize that. But anyway, this is Cardinal Lawn Life logging out for this afternoon. Everybody can have a great rest of the day. Go and do whatever you guys got to do. But keep making money, keep growing, and keep mowing. And Cardinal Lawn Life will be back out here to talk to you again sometime either Sunday or Monday. One, just keep a close eye out to the channel, and I should be back. I would say probably late at night, probably around 8:30, maybe 9, but and we can go for a long time talking. So just stay tuned for more videos, and we can just chat. We'll do a little chat little thing here. That's why I got my live chat going on here, and I see that there's nothing but my friend Rolel and my uncle Jeff Harris. But it's what you got to do to make a money, and I'm gonna tell you from the get go, you got from now to mowing season to figure out what career you want. And I want to I want to ask people what they do for a living. I want to ask people that, and hopefully people can tell me what they do. This is what I do. You heard it. So if you're like a plumber and stuff, I can ask questions. You guys can ask me questions. We'll do it like that. Okay. We'll play a little game here where we ask people what they do, and we'll do a little game. All right. We'll play a little game. We'll do a lawn care game or something. We'll do something fun on this channel. We'll do something. But you stay tuned for y'all, and we'll do what we got to do. We'll do a little lawn care game. Do what we got to do, and um, we can do it. And if you guys like this channel, you just blow it up with likes. You can always holler at me. My number's out here. It's right there. If I did a great job, you can give me a call and say that I did a good job. But God and Jesus are always here for us, no matter who we are. You know. But I should be back on here Sunday or Monday. Just keep a close eye out, y'all. And y'all stay tuned. See ya.